welcome to another edition of Abraham Chicks. My name's Tina, for those that don't know me and haven't met me before. And I'm so excited for my guest today, who is a beautiful woman who I've had the pleasure of meeting in California, the wonderful Monica Linda. Hi, Monica.
Hi, Tina.
How are you?
Good. I'm so excited to be here. I've never done one. This is going to be awesome.
It's going to be amazing. We're just going to talk and hopefully share amazing experiences for everybody.
Yeah.
But I really want to start with just the incredible manifestation of how I met you. I don't know if you remember, I think it was about a year and a half ago. I was sat in England, and I was just at the stage of starting my coaching business and really just getting off the ground. And I think you found me via our mutual friend, Lana.
Yeah.
And you'd sent me a message just saying, oh, I really like what you're all about, and I'd so love to do your photo shoot. And I'm sat in my back bedroom in England in the freezing cold weather, and I was just thinking, she doesn't know where I live.
Yeah.
And I just remember saying to you, I'm not actually in California, I'm in England, but how amazing would it be to do a photo shoot in California? And you were like, that's the kind of thing that Lana would say. And I don't know how long later, it was maybe 8 months, 9 months later.
Right.
And I had no intention of being in California. So this is kind of the power of kind of having a desire for something, but then just letting it go and not having the attachment. And through different circumstances, I ended up in California staying with Lana. And the first thing she said to me was, oh, you got to catch up with Monica, because she's taken her photography business full time now. And I was just like, that's Monica who I spoke to like 9 months ago.
Yeah.
And long story short, we had an amazing photo shoot. So for anybody who's looking for, their website photos, I'll put a link down below so you can see the amazing work of Monica. But it was just an incredible manifestation, wasn't it?
It was great. I mean, I remember when I saw your post on Facebook, and I think it might have been the first time I had ever really reached out to somebody who I didn't know and tell them about my business or tell them that I would like to work with you. I think you were very right at the beginning when I had started to just go full time and just said, why wouldn't I ask? This could be awesome. And I really loved your energy. So I went for it. And when you ended up calling me and we ended up talking about it, it was just unreal that we had talked about it 8 months before, and we said it was going to happen, and then it did. And then it was a great photo shoot. It felt like magic. It was awesome.
Yeah, the whole day was incredible. So that's a great example of how we can manifest things. But so tell me, what's your background in terms of law of attraction? When did you first get involved in any kind of spiritual practice where you could see that you were actually deliberately creating your life?
Yeah, so it started about 10 years ago. I was not in the best place emotionally. And I really needed something else other than myself to reach out to. I felt like my life was out of control, and I needed somewhat I needed faith. I think I needed something more out there that was working for me, as opposed to me having to do all the work. And so a friend of mine asked me to go to Michael Beckwith's church in Culver City.
Yeah.
And I went, and I remember being in that service and listening to the music and looking at my friend, and just, I think we must have saying to each other, this is going to change our lives. This is really going to be something that shifts. And then since then, I kind of just been a seeker of finding the truth and about being real and being who I am, and really going for it. I felt like I really wanted to be in that space. And I try to aim for it every day, just to kind of let things happen as they happen. And so that's kind of where it all started.
Amazing. So what do you do every day just to get yourself into that space where you can create?
So one thing thing I do is I have been doing Lana's workshop, not a workshop, but her not Get Fuller, Master Your Academy, the Master Your Academy. So I started doing that a couple of months ago, which has been really, really helpful. With one of the meditations I really like is when you take a look at what your current life looks like, or what you feel your current life looks like. I think she calls it parallel universe, the meditation. Where you take a look at what you think your life looks like on a daily basis. Like what does it look like when you get up in the morning? What are you usually feeling? And then to kind of take a look at what you want your life to look like. Like, what do you want to feel when you wake up in the morning? Like, where do you want to be drinking your coffee? You know, what does your bed feel like? And so something about that meditation really helps put me in a space of I'm there, and it's coming, and I want to feel like it's already here. So that's been working too. And that's been really helping. And the other thing I do is I do a 5-minute journal where I write down what I'm grateful for, what would make today amazing.
Yeah.
And then I write an affirmation of what I want. Like, I know Sarah Greer wrote the other day that she was a she was a miracle magnet. I loved it. So I used it as my affirmation that day.
Wonderful.
And then in the evening time, I go back into my journal and I write down what happened today that was amazing. And so those are just small things that I know they aren't take a lot of hours of practice, but they really do help kind of realign my life.
What did you put today for what would make today amazing?
What did I put today? Let me see. Let me get it for you.
Putting you on the spot.
Yeah, no, I put down today, what would make today great? Owning who I am. Booking events I couldn't even dream of that have big payouts.
Ooh.
And my daily affirmation was to allow my dream to chase me.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That just feels effortless, rather than the hustle of going out there and trying to find it. Just let it find you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that feels good. So what kind of deliberate manifestations have you created where you think, yeah, I made that happen?
One was that at the beginning of January of 2017, I did what I wanted to manifest for the year of 2017. I actually have them on my wall. Yeah, I have them on the wall. And one of the things that I wanted to be published, I wanted to see my work in print. I didn't know how that was going to happen. I didn't have anything in the works. I wasn't submitting anything because I know a lot of photographers will submit their work to be printed. I wasn't even in that. I didn't even know how to do that, And then out of the blue, an email from we're going to get published in a magazine. And I didn't try that. Like I said, I didn't send an email to somebody saying, consider me. It just happened. And so to see your work in paper next to text is really amazing, because a whole bunch of other people who don't know you at all are going to see your work. And so, which means I get to do more of what I love. So that was something recently that happened that was, I didn't plan it. It just showed up. I thought about it. I wanted it, and it appeared.
That's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. And even if you look at what you do for a living in terms of your photography, I remember when we'd, after you sent me the sneak peek of the photos from the photo shoot, you sent me this beautiful video explanation beforehand. Yeah. And you talked a lot about being able to daydream and really get into that imagination, so you're creating in your work just from the energy that you're putting into it.
Yeah. When I work with a client, I want to tap into a little bit of who they are. So there is a level of intimacy that happens, because when I start to daydream, I'm actually foretelling what I see yourself. I'm thinking about your parallel universe. What does the other half of what you want look like? Because that's what we're trying to accomplish. Yeah. We're trying to accomplish what is to come in your photo. And so that is really, really important to me.
You're a dream maker.
Yeah. And it's really weird because I used to get in trouble for it as a kid all the time.
Uh-huh.
Like it was the thing that it just drove my mother bananas. Like she would like smack me on the shoulder, quit daydreaming, or pay attention, or
Yeah.
and it's what I get to do all the time now.
Yeah. And now we're actually teaching people, you have to go back to daydreaming. You have to imagine what it is that you want. You have to feel it. You have to live it, and then watch it create.
Yeah. And you know, the other thing I think that's really huge in like manifesting is I don't have the rest of the year planned
Mm-hmm.
on photo shoots, right? Like I don't have between today and December completely booked, right? There's not somebody in the calendar for the
Mm-hmm.
next, 9 months, right? But I don't worry about it because every single month, two months out, I'll get an inquiry. Somebody will call me. I end up, there's not a month that's gone by since the beginning of the year that I didn't book the entire month.
Mm-hmm.
So like that is like a daily manifestation that I just know that I'm doing the right thing, that I'm doing what I love, and everything else is going to work itself out.
Sounds amazing. Sounds
Yeah.
amazing.
I just wait. I just wait for, I know it may sound crazy to people to like do it like that, but I just know it's going to be okay.
Yeah. It's that trust and that knowing that whatever you're asking for is coming.
Yeah, it's coming, and I'm doing the right things. I'm just letting it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens on the days when you don't feel so good? When you feel out of alignment with yourself, or you're triggered by something or someone? What do you do to deal with those days? Because I think that's the key thing, isn't it? How do you get out of it?
Yeah, that actually happens. It happens. And it happens almost like every other day, depending on what's happening. I was reading an inspirational book or something, or maybe I saw something online where they were talking about how the entrepreneur's mind on a daily starts out of like, oh, today's great. Oh, today sucks. Oh, today's amazing. I'm a rock star. Oh my God, I'm a failure.
Yeah. All in the matter of like 15 minutes. Yeah.
Right, you go through these ups and downs. Sometimes I just allow myself to sit in it for a minute,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe for a while. One thing that helped after a couple of years, getting some help to just help the process and everything, is to set a time limit of like how long you kind of want to sit in it. Like, I'm going to give myself an hour to just say it sucks, or it like it's really hard, and I'm going to cry, and I'm going to like feel like it's not working. I'm going to feel all those things that need to be felt in order to move up, into a different emotion. And so sometimes I'll do that. Sometimes I don't have time. Like I need to move quickly.
Yeah.
So I may need to like step outside, stop what I'm doing. I know last week I was at my computer for a really long time, and you start looking at your work and you're like, is it good enough? And I needed to I was feeling myself kind of spinning, and I made myself get away from my computer, and I went outside and literally sat on the grass and just sat down for a second, and I let the sun hit my face and just sat down. I didn't bring my phone out, and sometimes sometimes I have to move faster because I need to keep working,
Yeah.
So those are just some things I do kind of in the spur of the moment, is just kind of get still for a second.
It's so powerful though, because there's times when you're trying to do some work and nothing's working, the email's not going through, or the connection's not working on your computer, and the old version of me would have kept on it, like a dog with a bone. I'm going to get this to work. Now I just recognize this is not inspired action.
Right.
Take a walk, go to the gym, go do some yoga, whatever, go and have a cup of coffee. It doesn't matter. Just completely change your current reality. And then when you come back to it, it's a completely different energy.
Yeah, it's a completely different energy. You definitely come at it differently. And I think being part of communities like the ones that we're a part of, being part of your community, being part of thought leaders who are really reminding us that, that we really can allow what's supposed to happen is really helpful too, so those things work too.
No, definitely. And I think picking up on what you said before about it's one thing to be like a deliberate creator and, we put ourselves into the right frame of mind and, you want to feel good, you want to be grateful and appreciate everything that's going around you. But there are still going to be triggers. There's still going to be these healings that come up, that I'm not good enough. That's one of my favorites. It happens where we self-judge or, criticize ourselves. And, I found myself in this cycle of just not doing anything because I just wanted to be perfect. And really, my mantra at the minute is done is better than perfect. And the other one that I heard the other day, which I really liked, was having the courage to take the inspired action. Just really, you're getting that feeling, you're getting that sensation of, oh, that's a great idea. Why don't I just do that? And just doing it before you have that time for the little voice in your head to start creeping in. And, even with these videos, it's like, it's a new thing. You feel a little bit vulnerable, but it's also a lot of fun. And, already people are getting so much out of it. So you're like, okay, this is going to get better each time. The quality will get better. The questions will get better, but it's just doing it and allowing that momentum, to start taking you to that next level.
Yeah. And I really like, even when I'm photographing and let's say there's a client in front of me that necessarily is feeling insecure or not feeling like they can do this or not feeling like they're pretty enough or not worthy enough or are just not enough. Like there are times that I really pick up on that from them. And sometimes I want to like stop and like not do it. Like I'm like, this is gonna work. And then I have to tell myself that they showed up and it's enough, right?
Yeah.
Like whatever they give me today, whatever they can give me is going to be perfect, whatever it is. And that's okay too.
Yeah. And I experienced that firsthand from you. I had such a wobble on the morning of the photo shoot, you remember? And then actually it turned out being the most fun day. We just we let it go. I let go of the expectations. I think that's one of the key things in creating the life that you want, is letting go of that expectation of how it's going to happen, how it's going to look, and just feel it. And the fun that we had was incredible. Yeah. And the pictures came out amazing too,
Right.
I look at them and I'm like, is that
me? That's you, all you. Yeah.
So it's really magical that you get to do that every day.
Yeah. I mean, and when I like take moments like today to really talk to you about it and stop and reflect a little bit, it is really great that I get to do what really like inspires me and that I get to capture moments in people's lives that matter.
Yeah.
The moment with your mom matters. The moment that your clients see your pictures on your website, it matters. It changes the way they feel and all those things. So it's just really cool.
It really is. But take it back to, I think when we met, I think you were just in the process of taking it into like a serious business. How did you do that transition? Because there must have been a lot of emotions around, how am I going to earn money from this? How am I going to support myself? And there'll be a lot of people in similar situations that might be thinking, I'd love to do my passion or my purpose as a business. But how did you actually take that step into it?
Well, in 2013, it was 2013 or maybe 2012, one or the other, I was working as a regional director for after school programs. And it was a for-profit company. And I was working like 70, 80 hours a week. And I thought that I wanted to make a lot of money and that I needed to work that hard in order to do it. Like I needed to really, really, really like give my soul, work hard, work hard in order to do it. And then so it was a mixture of two things. Then I took a class with a girlfriend of mine, a photography class. And during the class, we would have this section where the first day on a Tuesday, you would get a lecture. And then Thursday you would go over your work and the class would talk about like, oh, I like your lighting or I like what you did. But I found myself that when I was getting to my presentations on Thursday, I was talking about the photos very differently from everybody else. I was like, oh my God, I love how she's like smiling. I love how the light's hitting the back of her face, which makes it feel like this. And then my teacher came up to me after class and said, Monica, you know, you're really thinking about this very differently from like anyone else in the class. Like you should really consider maybe doing this a little more. So that was just a little spark, right? Like a little seed was planted on, oh, this could be interesting. So I think that that's one thing that's been really part of my success is that I'm willing to go where it's interesting.
Yeah.
Like wherever something is like, this feels great, or, oh, this is like pulling me in that direction. Like where I'm okay with like allowing that to happen. And I think that that's come from when I was really small. It's something that I think I've nurtured, you know, throughout the years. Mm-hmm. So after that, I just decided to start photographing everything. Like people would ask me and then I would do it. And then somebody paid me money once to do it.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, all right. So this could possibly be something. So in 2014, a year later, I said in July of 2016, I am going to quit my job and I'm going to go full time. I don't know how it's going to happen.
You already put the intention out there.
I did. Mm-hmm. I said it. I have it in a journal somewhere. July of 2016, I am not going to go back to my job, no matter how much money I have in the bank, no matter what's going to happen, I am going to do it. I didn't have a business plan. I didn't have tons of money in the bank, mm-hmm. but I just knew it was right. So I made the jump. I just made it. It felt, it was like that little seed had been planted and then a bigger seed was planted and I just kept growing and growing and growing. And then I just did it. And so literally like every, day I'm like, who's coming next? Like, who am I going to get to work with? Yeah. And I just stay open to whatever's coming.
Yeah. And what I love about you and what I can see is that you are totally connected to your emotional guidance system.
I am.
You're, everything that you're talking about is your feelings. I felt this was this emotion. I wanted to reach for that emotion. And that's one of the key learnings, isn't it, with law of attraction, because you attract more of what you be. And so if your emotion is excitement, you're going to attract more of the essence of excitement, and vice versa if it's a different emotion. So you made the jump.
I made the jump.
And then did you ever doubt it? Did you how did you deal with it?
Sure. At the beginning I was so excited. I was like so excited for it to be something new that I really didn't question anything. Like the first couple of months, I think the first 6 months, I was just excited. It's like when I booked clients and excited that somebody was paying me money and that it was working and that it was happening. It probably wasn't until probably January of this year, because January is a really slow month for most photographers, because after the holiday and it's winter and there's not a lot of weddings during that season either. So like the inquiries kind of stopped for a second, and I panicked. I was like, what the did I do? What's wrong with me? Did I really just leave my job that I was getting paid so well for, that offered so much security? Did I really do that? And I did have moments. And I think the thing that comes up often is am I as good as everyone else?
So there's that kind of comparisonitis thing.
That comes up a lot for photographers, I think. And I think for just people in general. I mean, like, am I as good as Tina? Am I as good as Lana? Am I as good as this photographer? And like how can I charge if I'm not that good yet? Right? Like if I'm not that good, how am I supposed to be charging people? And that's something that I continue to work on. But that does come up. Does come up quite a bit. So I've had some moments where I was like, what did I do?
I think money is one of the key triggers, especially for women, because our whole self-worth is wrapped up in value and in money, and we undercharge for our services, or find it difficult to receive compliments or be paid for really what we're putting out there. And it's almost the that needs to come first. You know, you need to feel the value and the worth of yourself, and then it follows, you know.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm still, I think is a trigger for me too, is when people ask, how much do you charge? I literally have a moment where I need to like take a deep breath, think about it, remember who I am, and then charge what I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
But there are moments that I don't. And sometimes that really is upsetting too. Like I really get mad at myself. Like, oh, I didn't do it. Like I didn't put out there what I would like. And then I think like, what did I do? Like, was I driving? So sometimes it could be like what I'm doing while I'm talking. I know that's may sound weird, but like sometimes I have to like be in my office and make decisions, or I need to like be aware in order to like make the next step when it comes to like presenting. So those little things sometimes make a difference for me.
But that's a really good tip for somebody as well. You know, there'll be a lot of people in similar circumstances.
Yeah.
When you're in your office, it's almost like, you know, the Wonder Woman pose that people do. You're feeling, you know, I'm a business owner, I'm sat at my desk, I'm in my chair.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, if you're out running around or sat having a coffee somewhere, you're not in the same energy of it.
Yeah, you're not in the same energy of it. And I think that you sometimes let your guard down, or you're caught off guard. And so maybe that comes with a little more practice of being okay with being awesome, you know? That, right? Like that's okay to like, to feel like I'm great and I'm really good at this, you know? And like, those are things that that does take practice.
Yeah. And I think, you know, when you're following your emotional guidance, the fact that when you don't charge the value of what you are, and it feels bad, is because it's not serving you, it's not serving your clients, because you know, you will show up with that energy that you want to put into something. And you know, it's so key for it to be balanced. If you feel like it's, you know, you're doing something for nothing, or you know, it's undervalued, then it's not going to have the same impact. So it's actually a disservice to your clients. We had this conversation before when we worked together. You know, just the perception and the value.
Yeah, totally.
Amazing. So what else, what fun stuff do you do to get yourself into creative mode? You know, are you a dance around the living room to music kind of girl to get your energy going? What do you do to get in the right frame of mind?
Sometimes I do that, which is really fun. Like right now, I really love that Justin Bieber song with Daddy Yankee called something slow. It's really fun. Anyway, I really love it. So I'll listen to that when I want to get in the mood or something. But I think like sometimes, I think most of the time it's listening to music. My wife and I love to like cruise, which is something we did as kids, like in high school. I don't think a lot of people do it now like they used to, but where we would like get in the car and we play really great music and just drive.
Oh,
like,
nice.
You weren't going anywhere, right? You were just like driving around with the windows rolled down and feeling the breeze, you know, like listening to like, your favorite songs out loud. So sometimes we'll just get in the car and drive, which is like sometimes can really be great. But and I think the other thing, so it's music, cruising, but hanging out with my girlfriends is really a lot of fun, like just to laugh and connect. And like, if you have really good friends, like sometimes they can be a good mirror for how great you are. Right. And that's like something that you really like. I really need girl time to help me like refuel, because they just are just, if your friends are really great, they're really good. They're really good mirrors. Sometimes you can have friends in your life that necessarily shouldn't be your friends. They shouldn't be, because they're not like,
if they're not uplifting, then throw them in the bin. This is our new thing. Throw them in the bin.
So that's something that I think those are probably the three things that kind of I really love doing.
Yeah. And it's such a really nice analogy for life. The whole, you're not going anywhere in the car. You're just enjoying the moment. You know, it's very mindful. It's the feeling, it's the excitement, it's being present. But it's not about where you're going. It's not the destination. It's the experience, you know.
You know what? I had never thought of it like that. You're so right. You're so right. That's me. I wonder if that's why it's so like energizing for me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. So what's next? What are you planning to create next? What are you manifesting? What else is on that vision board that's behind you that I can't see?
Oh, so, well, I'm going to grab it. You want me to grab it?
Go, yeah, let's see it.
Let's see. So, I photograph a lot of women, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but there are a lot of other photographers that also do this. But I want to be in the top 5.
Okay.
I want to be like in the top 5 of women photographers that when people are thinking about branding or talking about having a great photographer who like launches their websites and their websites are amazing, I want my name to be in the top 5.
Yeah.
So that's like at the top of my list. I'd really love for that to happen.
So that's already done. How does that feel?
Oh,
look at your face.
That feels
It's
great.
already done. How does it feel?
Wow, it feels like I definitely followed a lot of little seeds, right? A lot of like little planted things in order to get there. Yeah, so that's one. Another thing that did happen already is I love my new website. Mm-hmm. And that was something I put down at the beginning of the year that I wanted to be wowed by my own website. So that's something that already did happen. And then I want to take a vacation with my mom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I want to be able to afford to like pay for an all paid flight. She lives in Texas. Mm-hmm. I want to fly her somewhere and hang out on a beach and just sit across from her and just be around her. Like I would just love for that to happen.
I'm going to be doing that in about 2 weeks. So my parents they're just on the way now, actually flying to New York, and then me and my brother have paid for them to come to the Caribbean and spend a week with me. I'm so excited.
Fantastic.
But it's that feeling of, you know, thinking, wouldn't it be nice to do that, and then being able to do it, just having that freedom where, you know, you have the resources, and if you don't have the resources, just knowing that you'll find a way to do it, and just make people's life easier in your family, you know, and have fun with it.
Yeah, and that's totally one of my whys, is that I really love the freedom being an entrepreneur gives you, because you really have the choice on what your morning looks like, and you really do choose on. I mean, I'm talking to you at 9 o'clock in the morning, right? Like, that's awesome. I don't have to ask anyone for permission.
Yeah.
I'm having a great conversation with somebody I really love. You know what I mean? Like, those are like great things that I'm willing to do the work in order to have a little bit of freedom.
Yeah.
It's worth it to me.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I'm so excited for all the things that are happening for you. I mean, you just seem to effortlessly manifest clients. I mean, you're underselling yourself even on here, but I just see how, you know, the work that you're doing, and then you're in the momentum, and now you've got this photo booth thing, and it just looks like you're just always having fun. You know, you're always laughing, and it's that energy of when you're having fun, creation just happens. It just happens.
Yeah. And I just want to continue to do what has been working. And what's been working is just to love it. It's to enjoy it. It's to really be in the moment. And you know, I want to say this because I don't remember. I was talking to somebody recently about it, but one of the things that does when I'm photographing clients that's amazing to me is it is like meditation. Mm-hmm. Because I am completely in the present moment. When you're a photographer, you are not anywhere else, but literally looking through your lens, through your camera, looking at the subject on how to think about what's the best way to tell their story.
Yeah.
And like, there's something about being in that present moment that I think has been so healing for me. And I'll continue to like do that because it's working. So yeah, I do have a lot of fun because I feel like I'm in the flow.
That's exactly what you are, you know. And I think anything that you do where you can switch off your mind, you know, whether it's dancing or I've just started salsa dancing lessons. I had my first one yesterday. It was great fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
I've been dancing for years, but never with like a proper lesson. So it was great.
Oh my God, that sounds awesome.
Fun. I know. And then I just happened to be on this island where this week, I think we've got 5 or 6 days of all these amazing dancers from around the world coming here, and there's lessons of every kind of salsa, bachata, rumba, all these different dances. So it's just amazing. I'm on this tiny little island in the Caribbean, and I've been asking for dance lessons for quite a while. It's in my vortex, and it's finally happening. So it's so fun. But I find that the more I'm out dancing or singing or having fun, the more easily things are coming to me. It's just effortless because there's no resistance.
Yeah.
The mind is not thinking too much. You're just enjoying the moments, and that's probably my biggest takeaway from all of this. Just have as much fun as you can and you will create.
Yeah. Amen to that. That is so true.
Oh, my beautiful. It's been so amazing to talk to you. And I'm excited to see all the different things that are going to be happening for you in the future. I'll put all your links below. So anybody's interested in working with the beautiful Monica, I can highly recommend.
Aww.
And we'll just keep watching this space.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Okay. Bye, sweetie.
Bye.